PC might be fucked. Hello, everyone. Hold on, let me press the record button. Well, hey, there we go. Welcome, one and all to Tom's Tavern. We were supposed to have Kieran, but apparently his PC keeps blue screening.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he says, trying to understand why my PC might be dying. Multiple blue screens, and now I can't even get it to boot up.
Oh dear.
What a poor time. We could provide live tech support. Who knows?
Tom's Tavern, providing tech support.
Since today. Don't mind me just pouring a Thatcher's. Splash some elderflower squash in the bottom though. What's it called? Not called squash when it's posh, is it? Cordial, that's it.
Cordial, yeah.
Ah. Delicious. Okay, right. Welcome to Tom's Tavern, everyone. Now that I finished talking about Kieran's PC breaking. What are we talking about? I'm joined by Burridge, as per.
Hello.
The bright orange man for anyone
About the only guest for this podcast.
Yeah, literally the only guest at the moment for this podcast because no one else is ever available.
Rip.
Yeah, might have to move it to a different day of the week or something. I'll review as we go. But yes, we are back. Throwback to the first episode where we talked about Star Wars prequels. We are talking about the original trilogy today, and I'm adding in Mandalorian and Boba Fett because I feel bad putting them in with the trash fire that is the Disney movies.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a fun one.
That's gonna be a fun one. We definitely need to make sure Kieran's here for that.
We need Kieran for that one.
You can't see it today because my light's purple, but my hair is purple again. Oh, can you tell if I? No, you can't tell if I put it over to that.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice, to be fair, because your room's quite dark.
My room's quite purple anyway, so it blends in perfectly. Can't actually see the top of my head. It's camouflage.
It's where his brain cells used to be.
They gone. They got killed off by vodka a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
And the Teletubbies come out to wrong thing.
What? Wait, wrong thing. We're talking about Star Trek here today. What do you mean? Okay, right. So I don't even remember how we started last time.
Good question. I don't know.
Not episode 1. Bastards. Episode 4. Let's start at the beginning. In the beginning, there was a young boy called George Lucas who had one fuck ton of money and wanted to make a space opera. And then he did.
I feel like. Do you know what we really needed from the beginning of this? We needed the actual space crawl. Just like on this episode of Tom's Tavern, as it slowly like.
I used to be able to make those in like Movie Maker or something.
I did make one for a video a long time ago.
It was
took a long time, but I did it.
Part of IT lessons was just like it was general IT skills. It was like partly video editing in case we ever had to do it for an IT based job, which is weird because now like I love video editing, but I use way more powerful software than we had access to at school.
Yeah.
And I use a PC with about 30 times the power. So, rendering is great. To be fair, though, Movie Maker was never a pain to export from.
No.
But that's because it does, like, so much less encoding. But yeah, like, I used to just make... Every time we did that, I'd make crawl text as credits or something. I used to be able to do it in iMovie as well, because years ago, I was around a family friend's house, and they had a Mac, and we were using that to like make a shitty film. So I did it in iMovie. It started an addiction. I love like filmmaking shit now. So, but yes, young boy, Mr. George Lucas, had a stack of money handed to him, and said, we're going to let you make this. And then he approached some people and said, would you like to be in my dumb space shit? And they said yes. And then it became the thing they were all known for. And that pleased everyone, especially Harrison Ford and Alec Guinness. Or Alec Guinness.
Yeah, those two fucking hated it. They fucking hated it. I mean, Alec Guinness, rest in peace.
Yeah.
No longer here. But Harrison Ford, however, Still actively hates it.
And yet he's still doing a 5th Indiana Jones film, so, you know... At this point,
he has to get people to forget that he was Han Solo. He has to balance it out somehow.
I'm not going to lie, I prefer him in Indiana Jones. But he is still Han Solo.
Han Solo. Han Solo.
I feel like the difference is, Star Wars has so many other strong characters that you can sort of accept that Han's not the best of them.
Whereas Indiana Jones, it's kind of named after him. He is the titular character. Yeah.
He is the protagonist. He is the consistent character throughout.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, he's not exactly...
Also made by George Lucas, ironically.
Yep. Indiana Jones. Produced by Lucasfilm, but made by Spielberg.
Well, yes, okay, but still...
That was
company
before he started Amblin Entertainment, I want to say. Because Amblin's logo is E.T., so I think that's when Spielberg founded Amblin. I'm getting into, like, nerd lore for films.
Nerd lore.
Yeah. But yeah, so Star Wars Episode 4. Opening crawl. Oh, hold on. I need a sound effect, but I don't have one on here. The only Star Wars one I have is... Hold on, let me just fix this so Burridge might hear it. The only Star Wars one I have is this one.
Hello there.
Is Hello There.
Hello there.
I need like the Star Wars theme music on a button.
You should have got the Alec Guinness Hello There.
Yeah.
Hello there.
But yeah, opening crawl. Something, I don't know. What does it even say? Something about war.
Oh, God, I don't remember.
And then we have the iconic thing. Then we have the iconic thing of a Dorito attacking something else. I don't know what it is. Like half a pencil.
Yeah, I think so.
We have the Rebel Blockade Runner, as it's known at the time, before it was given the name of the Tantive 4. Because that was never in the original script.
Oh.
Being attacked by a Star Destroyer, possibly the most iconic, the third most iconic ship ever after the Millennium Falcon and the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah. So for people who followed on from the last one, this scene canonically is set immediately after the end of Rogue One, which is, I think we touched upon that previously as well. But
I think it's like 2 or 3 hours after the events.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I think it's like they were chasing them the whole time. Because Vader obviously doesn't quite get the plans, but watches them escape on that ship, and you watch them go.
Yeah, and then they ran out of space fuel. And then it starts
the chase, and then they ran out of space fuel because that's a thing that was shoehorned. You know what? We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Don't you worry. Sequels, we're coming for you.
We're coming for you. That's going to be a long episode. We're probably going to start 3 hours earlier and still finish at the same time because the rage will be palpable. The only time I accept space fuel is dilithium and stuff in Star Trek and liquid Schwartz in Spaceballs. That's the only things I accept.
I still remember watching Spaceballs for the first time in Tower Unite.
It's great though, isn't it?
It was so good.
I fucking love Spaceballs.
So yes, they're being chased, and the scene then opens up to Vader now being on this ship. He's a quick man, he gets around quickly.
It is quite an iconic opening scene, you know.
Yeah.
The close quarters combat, battling down corridors. Then then
Vader just walking through and basically pulling someone up by his neck and choking him out.
The help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
Yep. Before she gets zapped by a...
Yeah. Before she gets the only use of a stun gun in Star Wars movie history. Never again is a stun gun used.
Oh, you're right.
The guns used by Jawas are electromagnetic because they stop droids. So yeah, it's the only use of a stun gun.
Well, unless you count like all the animated stuff, I'm pretty sure they've used stun guns in them as
well. Live action movies.
Yeah, in the live action films, this was the only time a stun gun was used. Yes. Or stun setting was used.
Yeah, it's the only time they ever set the phasers to stun. That's a Star Trek reference for...
Yeah, because don't they even, they even explicitly state, set it to stun, before they stun her as well. Like, they explicitly say, we're going to stun her.
I think that might have been, added in. in one of the famous George Lucas re-releases.
Oh boy.
God, by the time they finish, you won't be able to see past the shitty CGI. Shut up, grumpy dog. There's a grumpy ass dog on my bed. She's upset because no one else is home. But yeah, so we start. Battle happens. Droids escape. We meet this young bloke. He's not important. Then we meet Owen Lars, major character, very important. Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, most important characters in Star Wars. Then the young bloke goes off after these droids. He meets Alec Guinness. He's pissed off because he's in Star Wars. Well, I wasn't pissed off yet because it wasn't the thing that he became most famous for.
He makes a crate dragon noise.
He goes whoa and scares the fuck out of some sand people.
Yeah.
They bugger off into the distance.
Yeah.
What else? Oh,
and then he starts the iconic "Hello there."
Hello there.
Although made famous by Ewan McGregor in episode 3.
Because Ewan McGregor enjoys Star Wars.
Oh, does he? Oh my god, he really does.
He does. To be fair,
he enjoys Star Wars so much. He's in an advert on TV, right? And he starts the advert, and they knew what they were doing when they wrote this line for him, where he says, "We all like sand, don't we?"
Yes. It's a fucking Expedia advert.
Yeah, it's an Expedia advert.
As soon as I heard that, I was
they knew what they were doing.
They know. The writers know. Very good writing.
Most people were probably just like, yeah, maybe. But then the Star Wars fans are going, "Oh my god, he said the thing."
Say the line, Bart. Say the line. Yeah, it's very much like it's weird because we've got Star Wars is famous for it's not really famous, but it's well known that some of its historical cast hates the franchise because of what I did to them. Hello, dog. I've been joined by Lola. She probably wants to be let out. She's not going to be for at least another hour. So Lola, fuck off. But yeah, meanwhile, the prequels, because of Star Wars being such the cultural phenomenon it was, there's a lot more people who acted in the prequels who actually enjoy Star Wars.
So I think there's probably only one case of it not being a happy ending, and that would be I think his name is Jake Lloyd.
Yeah,
the baby Anakin.
Well, that and the Jar Jar actor. He got
and the Jar Jar actor.
Well. But that's because of a shitty fandom, not because they hate the media.
I don't think he hates Star Wars, though. I think he's still kind of like he occasionally still talks about it, whereas Jake Lloyd, I think his name was Jake Lloyd.
Yeah.
Like fell off the face of the earth and apparently got into like loads of legal issues and like drug issues and
that happened to
George Lucas
as well. So
yeah, and
tells
blames
something about
George
Hollywood.
Lucas for his downside. Yeah,
Jake Lloyd.
That's it. Yeah, so like I don't think he's a fan of Star Wars, but Hayden Christensen, who at the time was shunned by the fan base, not all of us, by the way. I actually
not all of us
was fine with Hayden Christensen. The writing, as I'm now a bit older and can look at it a bit more critically, his writing wasn't very good, but he did the best with what he was given.
That's the thing. I wouldn't necessarily say the writing wasn't very good. Like, a lot of his cringe dialogue could probably be the fact that he's had a traumatic event when he was young, being separated from his mother, and then he's been raised in a strict religious order.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, there is that as well. But that's
a bit too nuanced for some fucking Star Wars fans.
Yeah. But some of the writing definitely was a bit bland.
Yeah. I think it's probably shittily written, but they can hide behind the awkward religious teenager thing.
But like, and now he's like beloved. Like when they did the Star Wars celebrations last year, and he's on stage and like he just says a couple of his old lines, like "This is where the fun begins" and shit.
Yeah,
and people are just like, "Way!" And I'm just like, "You were the same people who hated him 20 years ago. Don't you sit there cheering him on now, you 20-year-old haters."
You bastards. No, yeah, so it's we got massively distracted from the plot of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some things happen. I fought with your father in the Clone Wars.
Oh.
or in the
yeah.
Was it originally that he said the Clone Wars? Yeah, yeah, it must be.
I think so.
I've not actually watched like the uncut original. I've watched the
No,
first
I've seen
re-release.
bits. I've seen bits. I watched like the first re-release on the VHS.
That's the version that was in the like collector's box set
Yeah,
on DVD when it came out,
yeah.
I think, or maybe the second re-release.
I definitely watched the first one re-release, but I don't think I've watched all of it because I can't remember if it was the original or it was before they released it originally. And we'll get to this because there's also this because we're sort of getting there anyway. Because
the shooting event.
Well, yes, there is that. Who shot first?
The chicken or the egg?
The chicken or the egg? So obviously, you know, then like Luke's like, oh, gets given a lightsaber, and he's like, whoa, what's this? Pokes his eye out of it.
It's not Luke yet. It's young unimportant boy. Come on. Oh, he goes back to the main characters, Owen and Baru, and they're fucking dead.
Oh, they're just crispy skeletons now.
Crispy skeletons. I saw a lot of those in the third Hunger Games movie I watched last night. That's why I've been tweeting about it.
So, yeah, his family are all of a sudden dead. So he's like, oh well, best I better go with old man Ben here. If that's his real name.
Some old man's just invited me to the sketchiest city on the planet. Sure, why the fuck not?
So off they go.
They don't teach the kids nothing about safety.
And then he does, and then old Ben Kenobi, when they get there, does the old, you know, the old finger wavy Jedi mind trick.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Not the droids.
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
You don't want to sell me death sticks. So
I don't want to say like the death sticks things become more of like a cultural thing than these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yes.
At least among like people I speak to. But it is a lot newer.
Yeah, I mean, I still go with the old.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids you're looking for because that would have been No, Death Sticks was the first one I would have seen. Actually, like the sequel trilogy. Sorry, prequel trilogy. Would have been the first ones I saw because I saw the third one with my dad. Because he watched, I think he watched all of these originals in the cinema. I can't remember. He watched one of them at least.
Imagine having parents that actually watch sci-fi movies.
Yeah, I know, right?
My mum's seen a bunch of sci-fi movies, but that's because she was a manager at Blockbuster for years, so she had to watch the film.
She had to watch them, yeah.
Like literally, when I say like, "Oh, I watched Aliens the other night," she's like, "I've not watched that since I had to watch it because I was a manager at Blockbuster."
And then of course we get the famous sort of cantina scene.
Copyright strike.
Copyright strike.
Thanks, Disney.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and then Obi-Wan cuts someone's arm off as well. And does he do that in the original trilogy?
That's in the original trilogy. I don't know if it's like in the original footage. Probably because we need like a demonstration of what a lightsaber does.
Yeah, I think they did do it.
It's a good like plot device. And then we get
the famous sort of
Castle Run speech.
Yeah.
And then the famous Greedo shoots Han, but Han shoots first. But actually, Han just shot straight away in the unedited original.
Yeah.
You know, it's all bad things. And then they like fuck off the planet.
But hang on, we're forgetting a key point here. Jabba the Hutt in the original.
Oh yeah.
Was a man. Was just a bloke. Was just like a really fat, short bloke.
And then he became a slug.
And then he became a slug. And it's really funny because if you watch the edit where they turn him into the slug, which I think is in the first re-release.
Yeah.
When Han does the walk around the back of him, and then they make Jabba sort of go as he's like stepped on his tail. Watch Han, because he sort of floats up in the air to make it look like he's walked over a tail, and then goes whoop whoop.
Yeah, it's kind of it's one of those things that's especially noticeable in older films where they've had to go through and manually rotoscope shit, and then
yeah. It's like he just sort of goes.
Especially given that at the time they'd have done that by taking each frame on cellulose film.
Yeah.
Rotoscoping at the time was basically just like blacking out the rest of the film and exposing that shot of Han onto blank film so that then they can overlay it correctly. It's like that old technology is fucking nuts. It's why if I ever work in physical film media, I'm paying someone to edit it. Because I'm sure as fuck not doing that. Digital, yeah, no problem. Actual film, the only way I'm doing that is by renting a film scanner. I wouldn't buy one. A Sintel one's like 30k. I could buy like several things for 30,000 instead of one film scanner.
I just watched it as well. The original 1997 cut of it.
Yeah. yeah, it's not great. Like the fact that they put that much dedication into doing that for an edit, it kind of shows you that George Lucas is a bit of a fucking lunatic for starters. Oh
no, sorry. Apparently, the one with the man is a deleted scene.
Oh, it's a deleted scene. So they actually did do that.
So they remade that scene for the re-release. So apparently the original Jabba scene wasn't in the OG film.
They might have reshot it then.
They
definitely must have
done. They shot it with the man, and then when they released it for 1997 and added the scene they
rotoscoped it in.
Yeah.
VFX Jabba in. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at it, like Han is in exactly the same place as he was, and then Jabba is just bigger, so it looks like he's sort of getting in his face more.
Yeah.
So it's very weird, but interesting to look at the same time.
Yeah. And then they blast off, and then they go to Alderaan, but someone's stolen the planet. They've just replaced it with a bunch of rocks.
Oh no.
And then they head towards a moon that isn't a moon. It's Burridge.
It's just me. Sorry, guys. That's a joke I get constantly. And I believe No, it was you, wasn't it? And then Katie Snapchatted the joke to me.
Yeah, you're out walking the dog and there was a blood moon or something.
Yeah,
like
so then I get a Snapchat off of Katie going, "Hi, Burridge, what are you doing here?" Oh no, it was a video snap. And it was of you just going, "That's no moon, it's Burridge!"
Yep. Might as well have some banter. Then we get like sneaking around. Aren't you too short to be a stormtrooper? That guy who hit his head on the door.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Didn't they leave that in?
Yes. It was one of a number of shots, and they chose that one.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's a good showing of like what's supposed to be the big perfect military machine does fuck up sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the whole premise of the movie. But
yeah, well, I mean, they're not very good at aiming. Like, they should have just kept the clones.
Well, the thing is, they go from when the stormtroopers have destroyed the sandcrawler earlier in the film that we sort of glossed over because it's not really important. They say these shots are very precise, must be stormtroopers, and then the stormtroopers miss everyone for the rest of the movie, and that's the power of plot armor.
Yeah, you can watch the plot armor as it pings off.
Yeah. But yeah, we got aren't you too short for a stormtrooper? The trash compactor scene.
Women don't wear bras in space.
Yeah, to be fair, I never really paid too much attention to that. Just because
it's just a funny quote though. Like I just remember it now, like in recent years, where it was just like the original was like George Lucas came out as saying women don't wear bras in space. It's like, how do you know?
Because I am space.
Because I am space.
Yeah, and then we go. What happens? They escape. They go to Yavin. There's a big spacey battle. They're going to be blown up. Don't bother evacuating though. That'd be too sensible. This is an all-out last-ditch attempt. Then the first bombers fail. Then the second bombers fail. Then Luke's on his final run, and then. Who comes in to save the day but Harrison Ford and his walking carpet?
After saying he wouldn't. After saying he was like, "I'm done, guys."
Yeah, he said that about the last Indiana Jones as well. So, you know,
yep.
I don't trust the bloke. You know, we forgot to mention his walking carpet, Chewbacca, but he's there. Then we have the famous medal scene where everyone but Chewbacca gets a medal, just because fuck Chewbacca for some reason, I guess.
Yeah. What bullshit.
It's speciesism. Because strangely, for this galaxy full of weird and wacky creatures, all of the protagonists, except one, are all white humans.
But it's okay. They rectify it in the second film.
Oh yeah, by adding the traitorous guy who just happens to be a person of colour. Yeah, good writing, Lucas. Very cornerstone of inclusivity. Let's give him villain roles. He turned out to be like a morally
It's okay, because he turned out to
ambiguous.
actually be an okay guy. He was just, in a situation that he needed to get himself out of.
He was just being a peanut. Yeah, so, end of film. All that shit. And then, crawl text. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
Although we should point out, for those that don't know, originally they didn't say episode 4, 5, and 6. That only came in the re-releases in 97.
Right, no, it came when they released episode 5.
Oh, did it?
The first film was just called Star Wars because there wasn't going to be a sequel.
Yep. That's right, yeah.
And then they retconned it to episode 4, A New Hope, when they were releasing episode 5. Well, when Fox, Fox came along and said, that made us more money than God, make us another.
I genuinely thought that only came in 97 when they were making, episode 1, and then they were like, okay, we need to, number this.
No.
I didn't realise they numbered it back in the day.
No, yeah, I'm fairly certain. Hold on, when did episode 4 become episode 4? It's a weird search term, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Re-release in 81 that it got the episode 4 title.
Ah, okay. So 81 would have been...
83
was when episode 6.
Episode 5 then, I think.
Wait, no, 1977 was episode 4, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, late 70s. 1980, episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back comes out, which is why it's sometimes known as just The Empire Strikes Back, or Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. So 1981 was when they got retconned into 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
so even
and then 1983 was episode 6 then.
Yeah. So yeah, Snow Planet, Hoth. The rebels have escaped to this ice cube and are living there, hoping that someone will put it into a giant pina colada so they can all get pissed.
They named another. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jess is correcting me there. There's a reference to it in Stranger Things when Steve doesn't know Star Wars is called Star Wars. Oh, yeah, of course there is.
I don't know, never watched Stranger Things. If I want to see something strange, I just look in the mirror. But yeah, so on a cold place, then a droid comes out, has a peek around, spots the rebels. Then Luke gets kidnapped by a Yeti. Then Han comes out and finds him, cuts open the town of Taunton in Somerset, stuffs Luke inside and hates it because it smells bad, like the real Taunton. Then, those speeders that they've been trying to fix for apparently a month, they managed to magically fix them overnight to go find them.
Yeah.
The engineers were just sat in a corner just fucking playing poker until that morning and finally did something of use. Useless shitbags. Then, they go and rescue Luke, and he's back just in time. Oh, no, then they have the back to tank, then they have the incest scene.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're nearly. The halfway Alabama scene, I like to call it. Where the brother and sister, who don't know their brother and sister at this point, share a long, passionate kiss. Probably just whatever Lucas was into at the time. It's a major category on certain internet websites now, so he was really onto things before his time.
he was a visionary before his time.
If he'd have been directing a different type of film, that trend would have happened a long time ago. But yeah, then some giant robot dogs appear, start attacking everything.
Yeah.
This is a really shitty description. The most iconic ground vehicle in Star Wars history turns up. Yep. Second, because the Juggernaut exists and it's a way better offensive vehicle than the fucking AT-AT. Like, why is this fucker like 90 feet in the air? You might as well have an aircraft at that point. Why? What's the point? That and, the logistics of dropping something off that big. And just think, right? So, you're transporting all that shit on a ship that's a kilometre long. Like, sure, you have plenty of space. But you want to carry a bunch of AT-ATs. Unless their legs, like, fold down neatly, they're taking up so much fucking space. Like, genuinely, the offensive part of an AT-AT you could fit in underneath the legs of another AT-AT. So, make it make sense, Lucas. Tell me. Send me an email about it. Answer my questions.
Send me an email, tom.speed@bluetail.media.
Bluetail.media. People don't spam that, please. It means I'll have to actually check it for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, there's an ion cannon. Again, a Star Wars weapon that we don't really see used again much.
Oh yeah, we really don't. There's a lot of things that just never happen again.
Star Wars is the movie series of single-use items, really. The stun gun only used once. The ion cannon, that gets a lot more use in the Clone Wars.
Yes, well that's the thing, right? They sort of bring back a lot of these elements for the animated shows.
Yeah,
and like other movies and stuff.
The thing with things like Star Wars is though that they sell a lot of toys. That's where the real money in the movie is. Merchandising.
Yes, I wonder where the little what was it? Was it the Porgies? What were they called?
Pogs?
No,
the Porgs?
The Porgs.
Oh, what, in episode 8?
Yeah.
The little chicken things.
Yeah.
The little bastard chicken owls. Yeah, they're definitely not made to sell plush.
They were definitely not made purely to be adorable.
Yeah, definitely not. Absolutely not. Don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, there's a whole documentary on Netflix about just the Star Wars toys. I have watched it. It's pretty good. But yeah, so the ion cannon fires, the ships escape, then the Millennium Falcon leaves, and then something happens, and they're sort of the hyperdrive has a bad motivator or something. The
hyperdrive has a bad motivator.
It's
he needs motivation.
Its therapist is quit, and it needs motivation to continue. So. They land inside a giant worm. Luke's fucked off and crashed into a swamp somewhere.
Oh, hang on. We missed, a major thing from the fourth film.
Did we? What did we miss?
The Vader versus Obi-Wan fight. We literally didn't
that was on the Death Star. Don't really matter. The Death Star's not around anymore. Who gives a shit? Well, no, if you think about it, the fight's not that dramatic. It's literally two old people beating each other with glowing walking sticks. That's what it is. Compared to the fight choreography of the prequels, I'm getting animated, and the dog's going over to make sure I'm okay. She does that. Compared to the fight choreography, especially when they introduce more lightsaber styles. You try saying that when you're pissed. Fucking hell.
Try saying forms instead. It's much easier.
Dog.
Lola.
Hiya. Hold on. Come up. No, she doesn't want to come up. She's a dickhead. Fuck off, dog. Leave me alone. I'm trying to fucking present a podcast, you bitch. Oh, this creature's lovely, but she's a needy asshole sometimes. Yeah, they're compare that fight, which is the first lightsaber fight we ever see. Even to fights in episode 5, and it is two old people at the bus stop arguing about who got there first, beating each other with their walking sticks.
To be fair, it is still the first lightsaber fight you see.
Yeah, and boy, do the lightsabers look different to any other piece of Star Wars media.
And originally, it was meant to be that slow because it was meant to be following. Was it like a Japanese form of sword play?
I don't know.
Like more of a. I can't remember. Originally it was meant to be that slow, and then like they sort of were like, oh, actually, we need a bit more action with it, so we need to make it quicker. And then in like the other films, they made it a bit more flashy.
Yeah, but yeah, there was a fight in episode 4. But anyway, episode 5. Yeah, there's a bunch of TIE bombers bombing an asteroid field. On the Imperial Star Destroyer, Darth Vader's instructing 10 bounty hunters to comb the entire galaxy for Han Solo and friends. Because, these 10 blokes are going to just search the entire fucking galaxy by themselves. Bear in mind that Coruscant has 1 trillion people living on it. It would take the 10 of them the rest of their combined lives, and one of them's a robot, to fucking complete this task, just on Coruscant alone.
Yeah.
So, then, we get introduced to the most iconic character of all Star Wars, Boba Fett, who has, 2 lines in the whole thing. But boy, did he sell toys well.
And I'm pretty sure those lines were only added in
after the fact.
When they had Jango Fett's actor from Clone Wars.
Probably.
Which means they weren't added in until
he has his screaming voice line in episode 6.
True, he does have his own version of a Wilhelm scream.
Yeah. He's pardon me, but he's he's famous for being told not to disintegrate people. Which is things I can get behind.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't disintegrate people. At least not without a good reason. The police don't like it if you have no excuse. Don't tend to like it if you do have an excuse, but tough. I had a fucking reason. Fuck you. Yeah, then they go to Luke's in a swamp, meets a puppet, meets Kermit the Frog's older brother or something. Strangely, voiced by Miss Piggy. Because it was Frank Oz that did the voice for him and Miss Piggy, wasn't it? Hold on, Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy character. Yeah, creator Frank Oz.
Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear.
About half the Muppets, really.
Yeah, like half the bucket. And Cookie Monster, Bert and Grover. Oh, and Sesame Street, yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, basically anything to do with puppets in this era, be it Star Wars' Yoda, or the classic puppet things of the Muppets.
He's the voice of the Cookie Monster.
Yeah,
I love it.
Rest in peace.
And Bert, he's.
Is he still going on? No, yeah. It was Jim Henson that passed away.
It was Jim Henson that passed
away. The other guy who did that. Did the other half of the Muppets.
He's only 78, damn it.
Yeah, but look at how young people die. It's depressing as fuck.
Oh my god, he's actually been in films as an actor as well, not just a puppeteer.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
He was in Superman 3 in a deleted scene.
Wait, did he do the puppets in The Dark Crystal as well?
I can tell you, he did it in Labyrinth. He did something in Labyrinth. He was the wise man in Labyrinth.
Oh, the Dark Crystal is by him and Jim Henson.
He's the director. Yeah.
He probably did some of the puppet work then as well. He's been in the Muppet Movie, Little Shop of Horrors. A ton of shit. But yeah, so
oh, he doesn't actually do his characters anymore for Sesame Street. He stopped in 2013.
To be fair, how old is he? He's 76.
Well, yeah.
I'd hope to retire sometime around that age too, if it's legal.
You say that, but he did do Star Wars in Star Wars Rebels. He did 2 episodes of Yoda in 2015 to 16. So.
He directed Little Shop of Horrors. Holy shit!
Yeah, he's actually got quite a fucking filmography. List. Yeah.
But yeah, so realistically, Luke goes and meets Miss Piggy's cousin or whatever. Her whole family sound alike, weirdly. And then some training. We have a training montage. It's basically Rocky, just without the Eye of the Tiger playing in the background.
Yep.
Luke tries to lift an X-wing out of the swamp because he can't park. He fails, and then the puppet goes, "Hold my beer," and lifts the entire X-wing out the swamp.
Without even stressing.
Yeah, he's just there like, bro, I can do this in my sleep. Fuck you. And then Luke runs off to solve the events that I'm about to talk about now, where Han, Leia, and the gang
have been betrayed by
betrayed by the space gambler.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, Lando Calrissian is a whole like fucking aesthetic. If I could pull off a half cape, I would wear a half cape, like he does.
Yeah. To be fair,
Like, does he wear a half cape or does he wear a full cape?
It goes down past his ass. I'm pretty sure.
Lando Calrissian. Let's have a look. I might be thinking of Captain Phasma wears she wears a quarter cape because it just off like one shoulder and comes halfway down the back.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, he wears a full cape. Well, he wears a like 3/4 length cape because it comes down to just above his knees.
Yeah.
Still though, if I could pull one off, capes need to be in fashion. Why aren't capes like a style anymore? Fuck's wrong with this world? But yeah, they get betrayed. Darth Vader and Boba Fett are waiting for them. C-3PO gets disassembled. Best thing that happens in the whole movie series, because he's an iconic character. But Jesus fucking Christ, is he annoying? He's like a Roomba, but worse. So like a Roomba that can't figure out it needs to go in the other direction. To just keep banging his head against the same thing. Imagine that, but 6'2" and gold.
Oh, he's like all the flies that come into your room, and you're just like opening a window, just like fuck off out the window, and then they just like keep buzzing into the window. And
yeah, you open the window in the summer, and 63 flies, 12 mosquitoes, 3 spiders, and your local annoying person climbs in the fucking window. 3 door-to-door salesmen let themselves in. C-3PO is the door-to-door salesman of the Star Wars universe because he's annoying as fuck and won't go away. Then Luke turns up. There's a fight. There's quite an iconic lightsaber fight. It is, like we say, it is way more flashy than the old one. Han gets frozen in carbonite.
Yeah, don't forget that.
For reasons of banter.
Well, so I mean, you probably know this, Tom. The reason he was frozen in carbonite was to leave Han's future in doubt, because Harrison Ford at the time really wasn't sure whether he wanted to do the third film. So
and then the movie released, and Fox said, "How much do you want?"
And he just went, "Yes."
I'll tell you what, though, it's kind of weird. Like, just to go on a bit of a tangent. So the first 3 Star Wars films were initially produced by Fox because Lucasfilm didn't exist.
Yeah.
And then they became property of Lucasfilm. And Disney got hold of the Star Wars films by acquiring Lucasfilm.
Yep.
Yet, less than a decade later, they also acquired the movie division of Fox.
Yep.
So they'd have had it either way.
Yep.
It's just kind of one of those things. It's like, now that I think about it, it's a bit fucking weird. Disney have bought every production house, basically, that was involved with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because Disney don't know what to do with all their fucking money.
So they just buy shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Much like Microsoft, except Microsoft then... Oh, never mind, that's a different...
We might do that in a Rambling On, maybe. If that ever gets produced again, who knows? Trying to find the fucking time to do things like it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Pardon me.
A lot more involved than this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's just turn up, drink, chat, fuck off. Well, I'll sit around for an hour afterwards talking random shit.
Yeah.
We need to talk about Pathfinder after this.
Oh,
I made a character, but I'm not sure if I've done it right, so. But yeah, so Iconic lightsaber fight. And then we get the most misquoted line in all of Star Wars. So, say it with me now, kids. The real quote is, "No, I am your father." Not Luke,
yes.
I am your father.
I am your
He
father.
never fucking says Luke. Piss off.
Yeah, no.
And then Luke falls down a big shaft, conveniently gets sucked into a side port.
After losing his...
his hand, yeah. He had his hand chopped off.
Runs in the family.
Yeah. It was a nice nod back, but it explains the scene in the third movie where you see a damaged Darth Vader with a cybernetic hand. Well, no, not in the third movie, in the sixth movie, but in the third movie in terms of release order.
Yeah, because that's what stops him going crazy angry. Because he's already crazy angry. We'll get to it, but he knocks off his hand, and then he's like, "Oh fuck, I have a cybernetic hand, and you have a cybernetic hand.
We're the same person.
We're the same thing. Oh god.
Oh no." But yeah. Then he gets rescued by the Millennium Falcon, and then we get a shot that's very confusing.
Well, he gets rescued after he reaches out through the Force.
Oh, to Leia.
To Leia, because by this point, do they know?
No,
or do they not?
No, they don't know until the last 20 minutes of episode 6.
Well, Luke knows, right? Luke knows at this point, but Leia doesn't know that Luke knows.
Does Luke know?
Because he reaches out to Leia specifically, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he suspects that Leia might be a little bit force sensitive, but I don't think he explicitly knows yet. I think that's revealed in the... I don't know. But yeah, anyway, we get the most confusing scene where Luke's on a medical frigate receiving a new hand, and then they look out the window and they can see the entire galaxy. It's like, bruh, how far in the space outside the galaxy is this ship parked? Especially given that canonically outside the galaxy is somewhere Star Wars ships can't go, really. But that's canonized later, so... But yeah, and then, end credits. Have you found it? Have you figured it out?
Didn't know about their familial relationship until Return of the Jedi. Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Problem is, all three of these films just merge into one for me.
All three of these films have been so heavily fucking retconned and changed,
and
edited,
over the years. And it all merges into one.
What is canon at the moment and what is not canon. And then, the third film starts. Opening crawl, whatever, who gives a shit. I can't read, doesn't matter to me. Sand Planet. R2-D2, who I've not mentioned this entire podcast, and the tall golden bellend are walking towards a big house on a sand planet. It's Tatooine. Just as a heads up. It's the only sand planet we've been introduced to at this point in the series. Jakku comes along in episode 7, but that's just B-Tech Tatooine. So who gives a shit? We will cover that in the sequel trilogy video podcast, how episode 7 is episode 4 with a new number on it, and a gender swapped Luke.
Yep,
and a British Luke as well. But yeah, so they're on Tatooine, and then the droids go in. We see a Bomar monk in the background, which is like a whole weird rabbit hole. The thing about Star Wars is that one spider with a brain in a jar has like a colossal Wikipedia entry.
Yeah.
And that's from like a 1 second background throwaway thing.
Yep.
In the 6th film.
Yep.
In what has grown into a 9-film main series. It's all kind of like
a 9-film anthology.
Yeah, a 9-film trilogy squared.
A trilogy squared, an anthology.
Yeah, trilogy squared sounds more fun. Trilogy, a trilogy of trilogies. Bro, I heard you like trilogies, so I made a trilogy of your trilogy. Still not as bad as Hitchhiker's Guide with the 5 books in the trilogy. Douglas Adams, the best writer around. Rest in peace. But yeah, so they go in, and who's there but the giant slug himself, Jabba the Hutt. Oh, mighty Jabba, we're here to negotiate for the release of Han Solo. As a gift of goodwill, have these 2 used robots. Because, that'll convince him.
Yeah.
Then we find out that robots can feel pain. Which is... we see a gonk droid being tortured by having hot irons pressed on his feet. Which they've programmed existential crises into these robots. Star Wars robotics is on an entirely different level. I mean, to be fair, robotics wasn't really a thing back at the time of this version of Star Wars. Honda hadn't began the Osimo project yet, so... It's weird, though, because if you think, like, the Honda robot project, which started in the 90s, was the robotics project for years, and then Boston Dynamics came out of nowhere at the start of the 2010s and was like, bruh, we built a dog.
We built a dog, yo.
And that became the big thing. But yeah, so, like, robots get tortured, and then a bounty hunter brings in Chewbacca as like, yo, what's the bounty on this carpet? And then what happens from there?
And the bounty hunter that brings Chewbacca in, though, ends up being...
threatens to blow everyone up in an act of terrorism. And then it turns out to be Leia. She releases Han, and then Jabba wakes up because it turns out he was just having a power nap instead of sleeping. Or something, or he was meditating, whatever the fuck slugs do, I don't know. I'm not a biologist. What happens there? And then, like, Han gets put in prison
and then
with the walking
Leia
carpet.
Costume.
Then Leia wears next to nothing, but she is wearing a bra in this scene.
So that does refute George Lucas's own claim.
She's wearing a bra because she has to for the age rating of the film. And that's the only reason that she's wearing one, let's be honest.
Yeah. Like, if that film was an 18, you're damn right she wasn't wearing one.
Yeah, it definitely would not be on there. But no, it would be M-rated in America, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, true.
Because it's an American market film.
Or it just wouldn't have been shown at all.
Or over here in Europe, it would probably be a 15 or a 12.
That's only a bit of titty.
Let's be honest, though. Europe is so less Puritan about that shit.
Yeah.
It's
like some titties. Here, have some titties.
It's like everywhere in the Western sphere, really.
Western world
of like America and Canada, and then Europe.
Yeah.
Europe's always been way more positive about things like public breastfeeding because who gives a fuck? America's like, a woman showing skin outside of her bedroom.
This doesn't happen.
Oh, smite ye, heathen! And meanwhile, over here, it's like Germany's famous for its fucking nude beaches. You have that in America, you will probably get shot. I mean, it's getting worse over here because American puritanical beliefs are spilling over into Europe because some dumbass gave those fuckers internet.
But the Bible says that you go.
Mine says fuck you. But yeah, so like Leia's wearing next to nothing, and then Luke comes in. He force chokes someone, which is very much kinky. Not poggers. Kinky, not poggers, same thing.
Yeah, true. Actually, now I think about it, he literally does use a dark side power.
Yeah,
in the first 10 minutes.
Mind you, he's one of he's one of 2 Jedi or 3 Jedi that we've met in the original trilogy.
Yes,
he's the only one that wears black robes. Yep. And then when you extrapolate that out to the series as a whole, he's still the only one that wore black robes.
Except for Anakin.
Except for Anakin, yeah.
Who wore like leather.
But he always had more like dark side tendencies in the Force use anyway.
Yes, yeah.
Because he's a kinky little bitch. So, but yeah, then he gets dropped into a pit with a Rancor, which is a big goblin dinosaur thing. It's literally like if a goblin and a T-Rex fucked. That would be the product. Like it's got like a
Yeah.
sort of like goblin / bat-esque face, but then it's sort of got like T-Rex. It's got longer arms than the T-Rex, but other than that, it's basically a dinosaur. And Luke kills it and has the saddest scene in any Star Wars film of the Rancor's Keeper crying.
Oh yeah.
That hits. That's just like, bruh, you've just killed his pet. That'd be like if someone came in right now and stabbed my dog. I'd stab them. So the fact that he didn't go in and like beat the shit out of Luke for killing his pet is good restraint on this bloke's part.
I mean, also, I doubt he would have killed Luke or even got a punch in.
Well, yeah, really, but you know, he's more devastated about his loss than enraged by it. So, you know, that's pretty good.
Rip Rancor.
Rip Rancor.
It's okay because there's another one
Oh, God.
coming up. If we talk about the Book of Boba Fett, which I think we are.
Oh yeah, that is in the list. To be fair, I've already forgotten what happened in Boba Fett, so I'm relying on you.
Oh boy, because I've forgotten all of it too, because it was kind of a filler season. Didn't really have much in it. It was
kind of nothing,
okay.
And then it was The Mandalorian season 2.5.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, so then we go out onto Jabba's yacht, which is not a yacht really.
Yeah, and then we see Luke's new lightsaber.
It gets fired out of R2-D2. They're about to chuck a bunch of people into a giant sand squid hole.
Yep. Leia chokes Jabba out. He's into it until he realizes that she's gone too far and he's dead.
Leia uses the light side method of choking, doesn't use the Force, just uses chains.
Just uses chains.
Jabba forgot the safe word and therefore died.
Yeah, basically. And then Boba Fett, who realistically and canonically should have been able to take Luke down. In this,
he's a badass fucking bounty hunter, and all that happens is he gets yeeted into a hole.
He should have been able to take down Luke because Luke was not a fully trained Jedi even at this point.
Yeah.
And although, and I'm pretty sure Boba Fett has hunted down Jedi, like, sort of during the Order 66, well, a little after, because he was still a kid at this point. But like, in the years after when they were still hunting down Jedi, he was still hunting them.
Yeah, he was contracted to do that.
So, like, I do question how he got fucked over because a blind Han Solo just went, whoops!
Literally. It's like, it's kind of bad writing, really. I mean, it's a kill of convenience because they don't want to keep the character going.
It's another plot armor situation with, oh, well, hang on a minute, technically he's more trained than Luke, but oh, Han Solo's blind, and whoopsie!
Whoops, he's gone. Into the pit. Into the Sarlacc pit, a different type of pit than a Rancor pit.
It's okay, kid, because he doesn't die somehow all of a sudden.
Yeah, by a miracle. Then they blow up Jabba's barge, and then they fuck off. And then I can't remember what happens after that. Nothing important, really.
Meet the Testicle Emperor himself, effectively. Oh, hang on, no, there's the jungle planet. Moon, Moon of Endor.
I was just thinking, there's nothing that happens in between that and that, is there? They just sort of go straight from desert to jungle planet.
Yeah. Well, moon, isn't it? It's
jungle
like
moon.
An actual moon, yeah.
It's the forest moon of Endor.
Yeah, and then they meet the little.
They meet the teddy bears.
They meet the teddy bears. They meet Warwick Davis.
Yeah. Some stuff happens. C-3PO becomes a god. The teddy bears start the C-3PO jihad.
Yeah. I love how Warwick Davis, as a kid, was an Ewok, and then as he's gotten older, has continued starring in Star Wars films.
Yeah, it's great.
I just think that is wonderful. Like, as a kid, he played an Ewok, and as he's grown up, and for context, Warwick Davis is someone with dwarfism. He never got much taller. Yeah, he is. But he never got much taller than what he was in the sixth film, where he was an Ewok as a child. So he has played like lots of different characters in the Star Wars universe who are shorter.
Yeah.
And I just think it's wonderful. I love that he loves Star Wars.
He's a
in
big
that
Star
way.
Wars fan, really.
Yeah.
But then, like, that's one of the things I will say they got better. Well, they did well in Star Wars Episode 7. Was they had a bunch of roles by a bunch of people who really wanted to be in Star Wars.
Yes.
Like, Simon Pegg plays the big dickhead bloke.
Yeah.
Like, Daniel Craig is just a stormtrooper. You don't even see his face, but he got to be in one of the films that he wanted to be in when he got into acting.
Yeah, he was the one of the mind...
what more mind tricks?
Stormtroopers, yeah. But that's all he did. He was just a cameo.
Like, you look through the list of who appeared in Episode 7, and it's just so many cameos. What's kind of nuts is, like, Simon Pegg wasn't in any Star Wars project until then, despite the fact that he actually co-wrote, like, one of the... Fuck off, Siri. He co-wrote one of the Star Trek movies that came out as part of the trilogy post-2009 in the Kelvin timeline.
Yeah.
You know? Like, big sci-fi nerds in the industry, and they're getting to star in it. Like, that wasn't a thing. Like, not even in the sequel trilogy, the prequel trilogy even.
No.
There wasn't, like, a huge number of cameos at all.
No,
if any.
well, in fact, the only like main role was the fact that they brought Ian McDermott back to play Palpatine as a younger person, even because in film 6, which we're getting to now, which we're in now, Ian McDermott is the first time the Emperor is played in a humanoid form, human form in person. So in episode 5, he appears briefly as just a hologram head with a different voice. He doesn't have that sort of the Emperor. And wasn't it like a producer's wife with like a thing on, and they just got like a guy to say a few lines, and that was the Emperor. And then in episode 6, they actually got Ian McDermott to play him. And then when they went back to episodes 1, 2, and 3 to make them in late 90s into early 2000s, Ian McDermott came back to play Palpatine, which was fantastic.
Yeah, so Warwick Davis was in Star Wars Rebels as a voice for 6 episodes. Yeah, he was in episode 8.
Wasn't Warwick Davis in episodes 1, 2, and 3, or one of them anyway?
Not that far down his IMDb page yet. I'll have a look in a sec. He was in Rogue One.
Yep.
He was in The Force Awakens.
Yep.
He was in Doctor Who.
Yep.
But that's no surprise. He's a British actor. Every British actor has been in Doctor Who at some point.
Yep.
It's like a legal requirement. He was in the movies written by the Turf. Sorry, Harry Potter, that's what it's called.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so he was in The Phantom Menace. He was like a character called Wold, a character called Weasel. He was also Yoda for the walking shots in The Phantom Menace. How? I did not know that.
He was a pod racer, spectator. Most of those roles would have been costumes, so
yeah.
The fact that he's in so many kind of makes sense because you know.
Oh, that's right. They've given the name to. They gave a name to the Ewok he played. It's called Wicket.
Yes, Wicket.
Yeah, Wicket. And he comes back as Wicket in episode 9.
Oh, he was in one episode of MI High, which was a banging TV show.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Is that on? Hold on. Sorry, tangent time. Is MI High on iPlayer? Why is my phone ringing? Fuck off. I'm live. Piss off.
Oh. To Davis, who was a fan of the Star Wars films, it was a dream come true when he got into Return of the Jedi. During the filming of Return of the Jedi, Mark Hamill himself bought Davis every Star Wars action figure that he did not already own. How? Oh, that is just...
That's so cool.
That is so wonderful. So Warwick Davis is 52 currently. Oh, okay, so Mark Hamill was only 9... No, sorry, not 19 at the time. He would have been a bit older, but...
MI High's on iPlayer. I'm going to relive my fucking childhood. Holy shit. I remember playing the game on the BBC website.
Yeah, oh my god, the MI High game!
Yeah. That was so good. I need to... Oh, God.
Oh, mate.
The thing is, it came around the time of when like Alex Rider novels and stuff like that were big. So it hit like at exactly the right time from like, you know, schools are encouraging kids to read. Kids are reading Alex Rider. Child spy shit. MI High, fucking genius.
Oh, MI High was amazing.
Yeah, all 85 episodes are on there. I tell you what, iPlayer's got really fucking good recently. But yeah, anyway, Star Wars.
Do I pay my TV license?
That's why you just tick yes on the box when it asks.
Yeah, true. But yes, so they have like a moon battle where they trick the Empire. Yeah. Turns out the Emperor already knew what was going to happen because he's.
Well, he knew they were going to sabotage the thing. He did not expect the bears on the planet to start a holy war. No, because their golden god ordered them to.
Yes, but then again, I don't think even that mattered to him consequently, because he was like, I'm just going to turn the son of my current apprentice into my apprentice, and he'll be 1,000,000 times more powerful.
And he's not inhibited by all this cybernetic stuff I install on my apprentice. So yeah, there's a big fight between Vader and Luke. Quite an epic fight, really. And then Luke refuses to fight.
Luke refuses to fight. And then Vader draws him out by basically being like, well, if you won't turn, I'll turn your sister. Wait, you have a sister? Oh my god.
Pranked.
And then Luke comes out like, and they like, we see a saber throw. We see Vader use the saber throw force power.
One of the few times we see that, really.
Yeah.
Outside of the Clone Wars series again.
Yeah.
They used so much of that stuff in there.
Like the Star Wars games as well.
Then what happens then? Sort of like while that happens, Lando's piloting the Millennium Falcon through the unfinished bit of the ship after they managed to destroy the shield generator that's on the planet of Endor.
Yep.
Blows the place up, and as it's being blown up, Darth Vader changes alignment, yeets the Emperor down the massive reactor shaft that's in his office. Can I just say, his office must be bathed in radiation.
Yeah.
That place must look like the fucking glowing sea after a week.
Well, that's okay, because, dark side.
Yeah. He's using the power of the Force.
Because Palpatine, he somehow returned.
Yeah, because his message was in Fortnite. Again, we're going to need like 4 hours to rage about the sequels.
4 hours to rage about the sequels. There's going to be a
long sesh.
I will say, there will be 1 or 2 points where we concede that actually it was kind of okay in like specific, mostly
like
cinematography.
Star Wars fans be in there.
Yes,
and J.J. Abrams is a good director of sci-fi nonsense.
It's just a shame that they didn't just have him do all 3.
Yeah, literally. Rian Johnson is a good director. Star Wars is not the right thing for him, though.
No.
The Knives Out films, great. It's sort of like M. Night Shyamalan plot twisty shit anyway. So exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. No, having a director change for the middle film.
Yeah. I did see a tweet from M. Night Shyamalan. They were playing Cards Against Humanity at Christmas, and his family did not choose him to win in M. Night Shyamalan's latest movie thing.
Oh no!
So it looks like it's literally his card, and his family chose his brother-in-law's card over his.
I would have been so salty.
I would have been as well.
But yeah, so don't worry, we'll get to the sequels.
Do not inhale cider.
Although speaking, no, that's bad for you. Like the sequels. No, sorry. Speaking of sequels, though, let's talk about some sequels that.
Oh, wait, hold on. No, first, I just need to note one thing. So at the after party, after everything's like all done, or like just before that, Han says to Leia, "You love him, don't you?" In reference to Luke, and she says, "He's my brother," and Han has that look of thinking, "Bro, I remember that shit from the last film."
Yeah, but she doesn't just say, "Yeah, he's my brother." She goes, "Of course I do," and he's like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "No, silly, he's my brother," and it's like, you could have opened with that.
I think like it's best put in the Killian's video of the summarizing the stars. It's like, I don't. Of course, I love him. He's my. I don't love him. He's my brother. I'm sexually attracted to him. it's just like when Luke tells Leia, it's like, you know, I'd love to see you stuck in a washing machine or something like that. It's almost just a reference to the trends at the moment on fucking certain internet sites, but it's like it's a good laugh.
But
Killian, yeah, so like
watch Killian videos, people.
Yeah, watch
so good.
Killian Experience. Fucking,
So
he needs
good.
to upload another video though, lazy bastard.
He does. But yeah, so I think we can merge Boba Fett and Mandalorian into one thing because I cannot remember most of Boba Fett.
I can't remember most of Mandalorian. We can summarize it. So, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was this race of people who wear helmets called the Mandalorians. That's their defining trait.
They had a lot of different clans.
They had
a lot of different clans.
Yeah.
And some clans weren't as heavy on the whole you have to wear a helmet thing as the particular clan that our main character here is.
Yeah. They have like a bunch of different societal rules for each clan. But basically, they've been kicked out of Mandalore for reasons.
Empire.
Yeah. And the Mandalorian, our main guy, Din Djarin or whatever.
Din Djarin.
Basically, that guy, Pedro Pascal.
Who hasn't starred in anything that's gone below 89% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's because I'd rate him 89% out of humans.
Yeah.
Damn, Pedro Pascal, he's got daddy vibes. He's been in. Have you seen his adverts for wine? He's like the official spokesperson for Castelero Diablo, the Castle of the Devil, basically in Spanish. It's a wine company. But it's like, damn, that makes me want to drink wine. The fact that he drinks it. Pascal is punk on Instagram. Go give him a follow. We respect Pedro.
Yeah, he is wholesome.
He's like the Keanu Reeves of the Star Wars world. But yeah. Stuff happens. He finds an egg. It's got a tiny green thing in it that looks kind of like the Frank Oz puppet.
Let me see the baby.
A baby Yardle. Our boy Yardle, the real Yoda species.
Yaddle. Oh yeah, it's got a baby Yaddle. Yeah, we see Baby Yoda, who we don't have a name for yet, so everyone just calls it Baby Yoda.
Everyone still calls it Baby Yoda, despite the fact we have a fucking name for it now.
Yeah, true.
It's that tiny little green rat.
Good old Grogu.
Grongo. Wait, no, Grogu. Yeah, so season 1, like, we follow around. Richard Ayoade's in season 1.
Yes, he is.
He's the bounty droid.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
I fucking love Richard Ayoade.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, have you seen the Pixar film Soul?
No, I don't think so, but I'm pretty sure I need to because it's like a D&D type film.
No, it's not D&D. It's like a guy dies and he fights for reincarnation to get another chance because everything in his life was just finally going right.
Oh, never mind. No, I'm thinking of a different film.
But like, there's like 7 deity kind of things that tell him like he's doing things wrong and needs to like pass on and fuck off to the next life or whatever. And one of those is voiced by Richard Ayoade. But I knew nothing about the film going in, and just hearing his voice all of a sudden as like a disembodied soul, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" It's like you walk in and you just hear Maurice Moss, and it's like, "What the fuck?"
Oh dear.
Oh, you're thinking of Onward. Also, another side topic: D&D movie comes out end of next month.
Yeah.
Oh no, mid-March. To be fair, I'm not looking forward to that. Oh, shit, it's Friday. New Vox Machina.
Oh, I've not watched any of it yet.
Have you not?
Saving until... No, because I
want to binge
season 1, of course. I'm just going to binge it when it all comes out.
I re-binged season 1 after watching the first 3 episodes of season 2.
Season 1 was so good.
Yeah. Have you seen that they've had Mighty 9 greenlit as a second series and a movie?
Of course I have.
Of course, yeah. I was so happy when I saw that news.
I'm just happy more people getting into Critical Role and that sort of stuff. It's great.
Yeah. It is not Thursday night, it's Friday night, but still, it's Thursday night.
It's Friday night.
It's Saturday, Sunday. What? Anyway, so Mandalorian happens. Richard Ayoade's in it. Some stuff happens. There's the ship, the Razor Crest. It's kind of iconic. There's a Lego set of it. Can't remember much that happens in the first one. I know that a Juggernaut's involved at some point.
And the Darksaber.
And a Darksaber, yes. Was that in second season or first season? Does he get it at the end of the first season?
End of the first season, and then second season he gets it, and then, yeah.
He has to remove his helmet at some point during the first thing, which is like a big thing. But then you see Pedro Pascal's face and all is forgiven.
Yeah. Oh, basically. It was during a scene when they were in the... They had to dress up
as Empire people.
Yeah, yeah. So he took his helmet off for that. So then in the second season, when like the matriarch, the Smith, whatever she's called,
the bitch,
it's like, have you removed your helmet? He was like, yeah.
And she's like, get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out then.
Get out of my house, you rat.
And he was just like, okay.
Okay, goodbye. Yeah, but like seeing him take his helmet off and then you see his face, it's like, I melted a little. Fucking Pedro Pascal. Jesus Christ. But it's like the thing is, it's like if his hair should be longer than that if he can't take his helmet off most of the time. Oh, there was something about like a frog woman and the little green guy was eating the eggs because, he's a genocidal maniac or whatever.
Well, he also just ate the frogs. Oh.
Lola's very unhappy about something. Lola! No! Go see what it is then. Go! You shut up now. That's good. Nope, she's not. But yeah, bunch of stuff happens. And yeah, that's basically season 1.
And then Ahsoka Tano appears in season 2. We have like a lightsaber duel in season. Well, not a lightsaber duel. She uses her lightsaber, while the person uses a stick.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff. Yeah. I genuinely don't remember much, apart from the fact. Was that Book of Boba Fett where Book of Boba Fett he gets the new ship?
Yes.
But end of Mandalorian season 2. The Razor Crest gets blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Book of Boba Fett, he gets his new ship because the second half of the Book of Boba Fett is just Mandalorian season 2.5.
Yeah, it really is.
But like the thing is, like we don't really remember much of it now. But the moment we sit down to watch like season 3 and they do like the this is what happened before,
we'll remember all of it.
We'll immediately just be like, oh yeah, all of that happened, and like it'll just kick in. So
yeah. But and then like Book of Boba Fett, he crawls out of a sarlacc. Some stuff happens.
He looks like a even more wasted away Palpatine sack of bollocks.
Yeah. Ming-Na Wen's in it.
Yes.
Looking fantastic as ever.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that she's actually 59 years old.
Right?
It's nuts.
It's crazy. Like, what? Good on her.
Yeah, like genuinely. I thought she looked good as like Agent May in the early 2010s in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And now she's like,
oh, wow, yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
She still looks just as good.
I can only hope. I mean, I'm nearly 30 and I'm already looking like I need to be put down for old age.
That's why I started dyeing my hair, because I started to get grey hairs in my early 20s.
Oh, mate, don't. Like, my beard's full of them at this point. I don't care.
All of this along here is grey hair.
If you could grow it.
Yeah, that's the problem with growing it. It is grey hair. I keep it like this so then I don't have to see my baby chin.
Oh,
my double chins, it hides it. It's fine.
It's okay though. My hair's receding. I'm getting old now.
It hides the 7 deadly chins.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Like, there's a scene in the Book of Boba Fett where there's a bunch of kids riding around on space Vespers.
Oh yes, yeah, because they just turn them into like their own personal gang, don't they?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a representation of mod culture in the 1950s in Britain.
Yeah,
but it just looks shit.
Yeah,
and then the Mandalorian turns up, and we genuinely don't see Boba Fett for like an episode and a half.
Yeah, yeah, we don't.
Like literally.
Yeah.
And then then the Mandalorian gets a nice shiny chrome N1 starfighter from the Naboo, which actually looks fucking sick.
Oh yeah, it does. Yes. Yep. And it was a bit of a throwback.
Yeah, it was. It's supposed to be like a nod back to episode 1 because episodes 1 and for like a tiny bit of episode 2 are the only times we see an N1 starfighter ever.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is cool to have one. I like the fact that he has one.
And then that's about it. Oh, Cad Bane shows up at some point, but that's not really important.
Gets murdered brutally.
He's a bit of a twat, so he fucking cares.
It was cool to see him in live action, though.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, and there was Inquisitors as well at some point.
That was Obi-Wan.
Oh, that was Obi-Wan, which we kind of skipped over.
Oh yeah, there was Obi-Wan. Wouldn't that would still be within this? Oh no, Obi-Wan was prequel because Obi-Wan is set before Episode 4.
Yeah, we kind of skipped over Obi-Wan. We'll loop back around to that at some point. To be fair, I don't think it was sort of out properly at the time that I was planning this, so...
No.
You know, I've sort of thrown this together now, but yeah. Anyway,
it's okay. So... Maybe we'll do a further one where we can just talk about... Because if there's a second season, then we can just do one on Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Right, shall we do shall we add to the tier list?
Yes. Oh, yes, because we've got the Star Wars tier list.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's... Yeah. Oh! Okay, yeah, we're working again. I just scared the crap out of myself. Okay. What? Oh, no, I think...
If I just
I'm there.
Fine. I'll fix it later. I need to reinstall OBS anyway because it's being a bitch.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so... Right, should we start with... Let's start with episode 4. Where do we think it should go?
Oh.
Given it's the film that gave us Star Wars.
It's the film that gave us Star Wars, but... It's... Yeah, I don't think it's S tier. I don't think it's S tier.
A tier, or...
I'd
say Empire's the best of the three.
I'd say... Yeah. Yeah.
I'll put it low A.
Yeah.
Stop trying to stick to Rebels, for fuck's sakes. Episode 5 can just go, like...
B, I think. It's not like...
5?
Oh, sorry, 5. Empire. Yeah, no, that's definitely like... Yeah.
Just a smidge. I would say, like, cinematically, it's not as good as Rogue One. Rogue One... the problem is that the older ones can't take advantage of modern film technique.
I think to be fair... I think...
I see what
Oh dear.
There we go. Barry's might be echoing now.
Echo.
Okay, so for some reason my fucking mic thing just decided to change from just my audio to everyone's audio.
I think put it next to Rogue One, to be fair to it.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair...
They gave us the AT-AT, which is iconic.
Yeah.
And Lando Calrissian, which is iconic.
And it's just a solid film.
Yeah.
Like, if that was on its own as a film, it would still be pretty solid, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Episode 6.
Yeah.
Alongside episode 4.
Yeah, I think alongside
the whole original trilogy is solid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, like, the middle one was the best one.
Yeah. Mando is probably A tier as well.
Mando is solid A. Easy. Book of Boba Fett, however...
I'd put it about there.
Yeah.
Between B and
C.
C.
I agree. Yeah, like, it was a good middle ground, but
it wasn't good at the same time.
Whereas Mandalorian was proper good.
Yeah.
I'd almost hover Mandalorian up into, but not quite S tier.
Just peeking its head up to see what's in there.
Just peeking its head up, because in terms of Star Wars TV shows at the moment, Mandalorian is the most solid one.
I've not watched Andor, but I've heard very good things.
I've not watched Andor either, actually. So maybe we need to watch Andor and then come back to this. And because to be fair, we need to come back to this and add Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan's not on here either. So
well, to be fair, depending on how many more because they're releasing Ahsoka soon as well, aren't they? So
and there's Ahsoka, so we might have to do a
TV one. We'll talk about
Disney
Mando
TV
and Boba properly.
Yeah.
We'll have a recap.
And to be fair, that might move Mando depending how season 3 is as well.
Yeah.
So Mando might enter the S tier depending.
Boba Fett can stay where it is though, because it's only one.
Boba Fett can stay where it is, but I'm pretty sure Mandalorian, depending how season 3 goes, could be moved to sit next to Empire.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Depending how good it is.
Depending how good it is, because the first 2 seasons have been solid.
I mean, the fact that it's got Pedro Pascal in it means it still has to go somewhere up here. So.
I think the only reason I'm not putting it straight into S tier is because it's not finished yet.
Boba Fett.
Well, no,
that tarnished it.
Like it's not finished yet.
Yeah.
So until we get the complete story, how was it as a whole? As it is currently, it's definitely heading into S tier for me. But until we've had all of it, season 3 could be an absolute walk in the park, and it just like blows my mind, and it's like, yeah, it's S tier.
Yeah.
But then it could have a season 4 and it ruins everything. So who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah, no, Mandalorian I think could go solid S tier.
Yeah.
Maybe we need Kieran here for that, and maybe we'll change some things depending on how Kieran feels.
See if his PC's still fucking working or not.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll have to do one for the Disney TV shows.
But yeah. Alrighty.
We did it.
We did it. Well, hey, we've done another episode of Tom's Tavern. Fan-fucking-tastic. Woo! I need to go see what my dog was barking at. See you down there.
You just find a robber dead now.
I got my knife.
Yeah.
This is like the world's shortest knife. Okay, hold on. I've got a Nerf gun somewhere. Boys, we're protected. It's the tiniest thing.
Tiny Nerf gun and a tiny knife.
Yeah, this is my armory. Most dangerous man in Britain. Yeah, you compare like this. This is the only Nerf gun I still have. I got rid of the rest of them.
Oh, okay.
Compare this to my airsoft pistol. You know. But yeah. Anyway, well, that's it for Tom's Tavern this week. Thank you all so much for joining. There's a podcast version on podcast things.
Links actually in the chat right now.
Links in the chat.
Moobot.
Thanks, Moobot. Links are available at bluetail.media/tavern. When I fix the page. Actually, I think you used to fix the page, didn't you? I kind of got terrible with like company.
Also, I don't think it's /tavern anymore. It's now /projects/tavern.
Okay, /projects/tavern.
But
because we changed
it does. Yeah, we changed software because it's a lot cheaper. But it does now have a link to the Twitch, to the Spotify, and to the YouTubes, along with a Tom's Tavern playthrough list for Acast, which is outdated by the looks of it, because only episode 5 it goes up to at the moment. So I think you're missing a couple of episodes on Acast.
No, I've uploaded them. And
the player is only showing up to 5.
I've got the email every time they've gone live. So
wait, hang on. Was Christmas Dinners the last one we did?
No, last one we did was Nintendo consoles, episode 7.
Oh yes, it was. Yeah, so that's not on there. At the moment.
I shall investigate. It should be on Acast, so I'll have a look.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I'm going to go see what my dog was doing. Thank you all so much for joining, and we'll see you maybe next week, maybe not. I'm not entirely sure on the current schedule for this because
people are all busy different days, and I mean, if I look at my rota, I am on the early and can make it.
Okay, nice. We might have to look.
So I am available.
But yes, anyway, thank you all so much for joining, and I will be back. We will be back probably next week then. Oh, goodbye.
Goodbye.